ElvisDuran.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea.
Let's go to press.
We welcome Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Gosh, that's unbelievable. It's like as soon as you started talking, I was back in my bed when I was like 13 listening to you guys on the radio.
Now, let's make it very clear. I never was in your bed with you when you were 13.
No. But you know what I mean? All of a sudden I'm going, oh, it's taking me back.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So you grew up listening to us.
Oh, every morning. And, you know, actually, if I couldn't make it because I had, like, swim practice, which I'm sure you could imagine only lasted 1 year.
Right.
You know, I would tape it. I had a tape that was in the deck, and I used to press record, and I used to say, Mom, now when I leave, you have to make sure that you stop it. And then she'd say, okay.
Well, you
Really?
gotta turn over the tape
Now-
so I get the other half.
Now, what was it us or was it the music? What was the reason you would have to listen to us every morning?
It was you. I mean, of course I love the music, and I've always loved pop music, but it was you guys, because it was, you know, I felt comforted in the morning. It's like, you know, you become our friends, and we wake up and we know you're always there, and you're really funny, so I can really wake up and we're laughing, my mom and I. It's great, you know. I think maybe people don't tell you guys enough the impact that you have, but it's not just about, you know, radio. It's about, you know, an experience for music, and it's the way that I saw pop music growing up.
And so here you are now.
Yeah.
Now, you know, as we are sitting here doing the show with you, Lady Gaga, there's a little girl in her bed waking up listening to us, and she's going to hear your song today.
Well, hello, and wake up and go to school.
Well, there you go. You know, it's just been a whirlwind of a couple of years for you here, and I don't know, do you ever have a chance to kind of stop and take a deep breath and figure out where you are and what you're doing and who you are?
I already know who I am. You know,
who are you? That's the question. Who are you?
I'm a really passionate woman, and I love what I do, and I love making music, and I think that the past, you know, even month has been the most exciting month for me, because I sort of woke up one day and I had written all this music on the road, and I wondered if it was any good. So I listened down, and I went to the studio, and I thought, well, this is really good. You know, and it didn't sound like the Fame, but I'd been racking my brain going, what am I going to do for my sophomore record? I hope I can top it. So I played it for the record label, and they were like, oh my God! They're freaking out. So,
Because, you know, it's not always like that.
That's for sure.
For a sophomore album.
And I know that just from being, you know, a songwriter for so long, that you know, for me it's different because I write all my own music, but a lot of pop singers, they don't write their own music, so there's like this terrible tension and anxiety that the label's scrambling, looking for records, and I'm proud of my new music. I really am, and I don't mean to say that in an overly confident way, but I feel that during this time with, like, I was just telling about my dad having surgery and all this stuff, it's really been a difficult time personally, and that's what this album is about. It's about all the things I didn't write about on the Fame.
You know what, with all the work you're doing and all the hours, sweat, and lack of sleep that you're putting into your career, on the road, writing, I'm assuming you have something to do with your costuming and your clothing.
Everything.
And in your travel schedule, this and that. When something happens like your father, you get the news that your father needs a heart operation, does it just kind of slam your garage door shut and you turn the world off and concentrate on your family? And what was that like for you?
Well, actually, the story of it, if you want to know the truth, is I've known about my father's condition for about 15 years. So he's had a heart condition for a long time, and 5 years ago it became worse, and he was not going to get the surgery, and he just told me, whatever happens, happens.
So you were having to get ready, Lady Gaga, you're getting ready to lose your father, basically.
I was getting ready to lose my dad, and I wrote this song on the Fame Monster. I don't mean to, I say this with such sincerity, I don't mean to say this to plug my own album. I wrote a song called Speechless that was my plea to my father to get this heart operation. And that I sent it to him when I was on the road. It was in April. I wrote it in Australia, and I sent it to him, and I said, please, Dad, and he still wouldn't do it, and he's like, I feel fine, I feel great, I don't need it. And one day he just started not feeling so good, and I literally dropped everything, and I came home, and I sat down with him and my mom, and I said, this is not just your heart. It's all of our hearts. And this is my whole family. And if you go, I'm going to quit music. Mom's not going to be able to function, and this is going to affect all of us, and you have to do it. And he did it. And so that song for me really represents, it's so important to me, and the way that I ended up producing it with Ron Fair, it became a real pop song. I said, don't make, with me some giant art piece that it's going to sit on number 8 on my album and never get put out.
Make it mean something more.
Make it mean something more that the world can hear and tell the story. And I mean it in an inspiring way. I have a lot of fans who are, really lovely, young, troubled fans who want to rebel and have
You have some old troubled fans over here, too. John Bell's very troubled.
Oh, I've been troubled forever.
Fan.
But I want to remind them that you only get one set of parents. You can get you have as many friends as you like, and as many travels, and you can write much music, and I can have as many number ones as I will, but I only get one dad.
Do you think there's a real advantage to being able to write your own music, because you can do things like you just described, rather than being an artist who has to rely on finding music in other places that fit?
Absolutely, because I'm in control of your own destiny, I should say. And for me, it's a personal love. I love writing music. It's not like, oh no, I've got to write.
Got to sit down and write 10 songs.
I was writing on the road because I have to. I have a sense of urgency that I feel I really need to write, and I know that it's. We're kind of taught over the past 10 years, like with the whole indie rock craze, that, if you're a songwriter, you have to be like edgy and sad and, write certain kind of music. And I write pop music, and that's just who I am.
I was reading that you make music for the dress.
Yeah.
You said that. Now, what exactly do you mean by that?
Well, what I was just, it's so funny to be hearing you talk, and I'm sitting next to you.
By the way, before you answer that question, it's going to get kind of weird in a minute. We have a surprise for you.
It's really weird.
You think you have a weird day? It's about to get really weird. But anyway,
I'm like so starstruck.
No. You write for the dress.
What's that mean? That I wrote. I was saying that originally in the beginning to try to explain what performance art is, because in the pop world, it's not like the most prominent, form of expression.
Well, who is a great performance artist in your opinion?
I think Grace Jones.
Grace Jones. I know, but that was the 80s. That was over 20 years ago.
Right. Well, and my references are not from today, and obviously that's why I pursue what I do. I want to be that woman for this time.
Right.
Lee Bowery, Klaus Nomi, there's so many performance artists, and they're so kind of this out there amazing, and they bring this fantasy to the work. So for a while it's been Gaga and her wacky costumes, right? But I don't see them as wacky. I genuinely want to create a sense of a world for my fans where they come to my shows and they're somewhere else, and they are. And if you come see me live, the Monster Ball is starting at the end of November. It's really just, it's a completely out of this world experience where just for a moment you're not in your own life. You're somewhere else.
We saw, who did we see the other night?
Kylie Minogue.
We saw Kylie Minogue in concert. Excellent staging, excellent costuming. I think you would appreciate it.
Okay.
Hey, look, I've got to get some music on here because that's one of the reasons you're here.
Praise God.
But every text that's coming through wants to know what you're wearing. Does that offend you that they want to know?
No.
They think that's so important?
I'm wearing
because you're wearing a very unique Good Morning outfit.
Yeah.
Is this the equivalent of Mom's house coat?
Yeah, it is. Well, I wanted to wear something nice for you guys since I love Z100 so much.
You look awesome.
It's a gladiator gown.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
She's got a train and everything.
It's Valentino.
I was hoping for the Hello Kitty dress, to be honest.
Yeah.
I want that mass produced if you can. But
I appreciate that my fans, any nice thing that anyone ever says about me and my music really means a lot.
Well, good. And we'll get pictures after the interview, and we'll put them up on the website so everyone can see how you're looking. Hey, before I want to play the new song. Before we do that, I want to introduce you to someone. Don't let him come in yet. Hold on. Let's make this perfect.
Am I going to get upset?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no.
I cry really.
Oh, no, you'll get very upset.
I think the drum roll is in.
Yeah, you're going to get so upset.
You might throw up, I think.
Isn't it that when you make it to a certain point as an artist, there's always going to be people who want to copy you or to emulate you and be like you.